everybody. This is Bob Iacchino from Path Trading Partners along with Mike Arnold. Good afternoon to everyone watching. We just wanted to give our normal Path Chat equity update. We have a couple of things to cover, three things to cover actually. First one, we're going to go over this closed out NVDA trade. We reached our second target, so that trade is now over for us. So Mike's going to go ahead and walk you through it reaching the last target. And then we're going to take a look at the General Motors and the Vulcan Materials charts that we looked at this morning. If you look at this morning's AM equity update, you'll see that we talked about where these may go and where a particular pattern might develop, and we're getting really close to those trades triggering. So let me give it to Mike right away so you can get on these numbers. Mikey, it's all yours.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Bob. So, NVIDIA, we've been talking about it since back on the, the 26th of January when the trade triggered, and we've been following this all the way through. Hit our first target yesterday, hit our second target today, 119 level. So now we do the responsible thing and close out the trade. This trade is completed. Whether it goes higher or lower from here, we do not care until we get another setup. Also, it is going into earnings this week, so keep that in mind. But there's no more price projections to trade off of, so we close out the trade. GM was up here earlier today, and we were looking for it to trigger this massive weekly potential double. It's gone down rather close now. It's dropped to 35.10 on the close. Our triggers, if it closes below 34.67, so that could continue to unfold. Yes, it's only Tuesday of this week, and we want a weekly close below that, but keep that in mind because it's dropped substantially today. VMC, this was again higher. They released their earnings, and we watched our earlier video. You can see what the bar looked like then. It's now a triggered, it's not a triggered double, it is a valid double. It's a confirmed double top, but it is not triggered yet. Again, we need a close below the 120.79 based off a weekly basis. So there's nothing to do yet, but it has confirmed that it's a valid double top by moving below the 120.79, just not closing below it. I'm going to send it right back to you, Bob.
Thanks, Mike. Couple of things. These are longer term charts, so this thing can move around for the rest of this week, in both of these rather, General Motors and Vulcan, VMC. They can move around quite a bit this week and not violate the pattern and not trigger the pattern. These are weekly charts. Go back to that NVIDIA one. It took a good 5 or 6 days to play out of the target on a daily chart. The weekly charts that we're seeing can go a lot longer than that if that's where a trade triggers. So playing these things for ultra short term is probably not bright, even if it does trigger. Also, since the NVIDIA chart is up, we are now out of this trade, just as Mike described, completely out of it. We don't care if it continues to go higher. We don't care if it reverses. We don't care about any of that. A completed trade for us is a completed trade. You won't see us open up an NVIDIA chart again unless we have a different trade in it, a completely new trade. A target is where you take an action. And for us, our default action is to exit the trade. If you want to make within your particular trading plan that a target is somewhere where you start to trail a stop for a certain amount of percentage points or a certain amount of levels or whatever you want to do, you want to start using a trailing stop when you get to an ultimate target, that's okay. Mike and I will not be following NVIDIA anymore unless a new trade pops up in it. It hit our target. That trade is done. We don't care what it does later today, tonight, tomorrow morning, or the next week. All right, Money Path Podcast, there's a new one out. PathTradingPartners.com. You can find the podcast on there if you can't seem to find it on iTunes. And again, email us, support@PathTradingPartners.com if there's anything you'd like us to talk about. Cheers, guys. We'll speak to you soon.